I'm so tired of watching video after video in this country of everything getting stolen. I'm tired of seeing malls, storefronts, etc. just having to deal with these people coming in, taking whatever they want, and not caring about the consequences. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of hearing about how, oh, this is a consequence of poverty. Like, we just need to put out an APB for poverty. If only the police arrested poverty, that would solve all of these problems. I'm tired of hearing about how all criminals are basically just Aladdin. They just have hearts of gold, and something needs to be done. And to be clear, we've had recessions before. Within my lifetime, we had the Great Recession under the Bush and then Obama administration. You know what happened during that period of time? Crime did not go up. It actually declined. What's going on in this country is that we're becoming more and more tolerant to crime. We are accepting that looting is just a process that we gotta be cool with because something reparations, we can't call the police because honestly, the police something related to slavery isn't that racist for you pointing it out. But you know what? We're getting close to Christmas. You know what? It's a holiday season, so I'm in the holiday mood. So we're going to talk about a story out of Los Angeles where one of these smash and grab robberies was happening, just like we've seen nationwide time and time again, but this time something different happened. This time, there were Marine Corps recruiters nearby, and they decided to step up and catch these people who are committing these crimes, and I'm all here for it. But before we get into that, I just want you guys to know, this video is not sponsored. This video is for you guys out there, and a special shout out to those of you who have gone over to actualjusticewarrior.com/join, my website, and signed up. And you can see early access videos on the secret video page, which you unlock by doing a join 14-day free trial. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I also have other links in the description for support features and all that. Anyway, so the story's out of Los Angeles. It starts off, as we see many of these stories start off, with somebody just pulling out their phone and videotaping what has now become the new normal in our stores across the country, a smash and grab robbery.
Good evening. It is truly remarkable. Two of the suspects were taken to the ground and detained by Marines. In Torrance, inside of the Del Amo Fashion Center. Yet another smash and grab robbery captured on cell phone video.
You know, we hear a lot from the left wing in this country about how Amazon is a terrible company. Amazon is the worst place ever. Amazon is absolutely awful. Well, you know what competes with Amazon in theory? Brick and mortar stores, the malls of America. And you know what the malls of America have to contend with that Amazon simply does not? Organized retail theft. And that's exactly what this is. We set up a system where we were like, you know what? Shoplifting is no big deal, even though historically it has been a big deal, and the only way to address it is to actually prosecute shoplifters. The left wing in this country thought they knew better. They decided to respond to the ongoing looting that was happening during the Black Lives Matter riots, and by the way, some of this stuff was implemented even before that by saying, you know what, we're not going to arrest you because honestly, most of the time, you steal less than what it would actually cost to prosecute you. The state is actually taking on these costs, and it's no big deal. But the thing is, the reason why we prosecuted shoplifters is not because the individual shoplifter stole more than it would cost to incarcerate that person, stole more than it cost to arrest that person. The reason we did that is because when you stop prosecuting these people, we get more of them. Once people know that you won't get in trouble for stealing items like this, they then do it more. More people participate in it. The system tends to fall apart. And you actually get organized retail theft. Now, we've covered stories about $8 million worth of merchandise being seized during one of the raids of an organized retail theft operation. So, you know this is true for a fact if you've actually watched this show instead of watching the mainstream media and just consuming it like it's normal. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with in this country. So these guys go into the jewelry store, they have their hammers at the ready, they're smashing everything, people are filming it.
Yet another smash and grab robbery captured on cell phone video.
And I got news for you. This video would not have been useful for any regard in getting any kind of conviction. And normally they get away. Normally they take off. Normally the store is just out on their luck. they're done. And people say, oh, well, they have insurance. But the thing is, when you have retail insurance, the more you report, the more your premiums go up, and the better chance that you actually drop your insurance. This is why, and a lot of people don't realize this, or maybe they do realize this and they're lying directly to your face, these often just get taken as losses by the store owners, because if they report it and they lose their insurance, a lot of times they're not able to be in business. Or if something even bigger, something even greater happens, they don't want to risk it, because what if there's a fire? What if there's some kind of other issue in the store that they need to do an insurance claim for? They can't really waste it on a situation like this. So these criminals, these organized retail thieves or disorganized retail thieves, it doesn't really matter, end up being able to steal carte blanche, no consequences for it. Even if they're arrested, they're released automatically, and we all pay higher prices. And the businesses, large or small, end up having to raise prices or close down. They end up having to lay off workers. And by the way, Amazon ends up being the winner in the marketplace at this point in time, because they don't have to deal with shoplifting, because they're not a brick and mortar location. So we end up allowing the criminality, destroying jobs in our neighborhood, creating economic devastation, all based on the idea that we've lost the will to prosecute the thieves, all based on the idea that we want to pretend that these thieves are actually good people, and if not for the economic devastation, if only we gave them more welfare payments, they wouldn't be doing a smash and grab and trying to steal thousands of dollars worth of jewelry. Because honestly, it's Christmas, and they're just going to trade that jewelry at the local store for bread for their kids. If you believe that, then I got a bridge to sell you. But again, this story actually has a happy ending. Again, this is not one of those tales where they were able to do the smash and grab and get away. This is one of the tales where people actually stepped up. People actually stopped them. And guess who stepped up in this instance? The United States Marines recruiters, who happen to be located nearby. And let's cut to some of that footage so you can see it in all its glory.
Narrated and recorded by a bystander named Ralph.
Me and my wife were just walking down the mall doing the last minute Christmas shopping. And then all of a sudden we just heard a loud banging noise. And we turn around and we see a group of men just smashing the glasses.
Torrance police say 4 men used hammers to break into display cases at a jewelry store in the mall Tuesday. The video shows 2 of the suspects run out, headed straight for the door. But that's not the end of this.
And then the Marines, the Marine Corps actually stepped up.
The jewelry store is near a military recruitment center in the mall, and several Marine recruiters and bystanders ended up tackling 2 of the suspects to the ground.
You absolutely love to see it. United States Marine recruiters in uniform nearby, stepping up to do what is necessary. And by the way, if you ever wondered if people need leadership or not, just look at what happens after these guys decide that they're not going to let criminality run wild. They're going to take control of the situation. People in the mall join in, because everyday citizens, whether they want to admit it or not, whether they show it in their voting patterns or not, actually have a problem with this. Everyday citizens know that this retail theft is wrong. Everyday citizens know that these are not Aladdins.
Torrance police thanking Marine Corps Recruiting South Bay in a Facebook post. The Marines held down the 2 suspects, who were minors.
They're reported as minors. I don't know what their job has to do with anything. Just kidding. They're underage. They're kids. They're committing these robberies because all the things that we did to make shoplifting acceptable in terms of the law, especially in places like California, apply double for those under the age of 18. So they're taking advantage of it. And I absolutely love it. And the fact that the police thank them on Twitter honestly kind of bothers me, because what they need to do is start calling out the district attorney in this area. The fact is, these kids are not going to be prosecuted. It is great to see them tackled. It is great to see them impacted negatively in some regard by this. But until we have a system that actually embraces the idea that stealing is wrong, I know this is like a basic thing, goes back further than the 10 Commandments, but apparently we need to relearn this lesson. We are just going to see this time and time again. But again, gotta play some of the video, gotta have you guys enjoy this, because I definitely enjoyed this. And if I was doing my last minute Christmas shopping and I saw the Marines step up and stop something like this, I would take this as a last minute Christmas present.
Until police arrived to bring them into custody. The jewelry store manager, who didn't want the store identified, says it's a family-run business and they're grateful for the Marine recruiters.
Now, this store happens to be a family-run business, so it's something that they've invested their time, their money, their commitment, and if you know anything funny thing about family businesses, everyone in the family, or almost everyone in the family, is participating in making it function. And by the way, it's a jewelry store, so a lot of times people are going here to get something for their special someone, and it is a good part of the community, and it should be respected. But that being said, it does not matter to me if this is a family business. If this was a major corporation like Kay or whatever kind of jewelry store, that does not have an impact, and we need to divorce our mindset from this idea that it's okay to steal from big businesses, but not small businesses, because the impact is we're just going to have more theft and it's going to affect everyone. And again, when you steal from big businesses that make their money in selling you a lot of volume at low profit margins, those are the stores that are the first to shut down because they can't operate with a certain amount of retail theft. They can't function due to the fact that they're trying to sell you stuff for cheap, again, just at a bunch of volume. So what we end up with when we allow theft in big businesses, because big business theft is somehow less egregious, is those big businesses closing, those big businesses moving on, people losing their jobs, and then all that's left are small businesses that have to constantly hike up prices, ignore thefts, and not file insurance claims, and it makes it worse off for them. And by the way, big businesses are often more likely to be able to pay an employee to go for a day to testify to make sure that shoplifters face consequences. This idea that it's a zero-sum game in this regard is absurd. Again, stores all the way back in the day, going back 100 years ago, would share information on shoplifters because they realized while it's okay to compete in a lot of regards, withholding information would actually protect more thieves, and it actually made more economic sense to cooperate when we're talking about shoplifters. So yeah, big business, small business, I don't care. I'm sick of these people tearing up our malls. I'm sick of these people tearing up our stores, and I'm sick of these people always getting away with it. And again, I gotta go back to the video because I love the victory cheers after they tackle these guys. I love the fact that the whole community is on board. I love the fact that there's support for these Marines actually stepping up and taking action in this scenario, and I want you guys to bask in the glory of this great victory in our country. And yes, I'm calling it a great victory because I'm so tired, again, of these people just getting away with it, and they thought they were going to get away with it. They smashed up the displays, they took off, and then all of a sudden they're being chased down by Marines, and it was a wrap for them.
Let's go! Semper Fi! Salute!
Ralph agrees.
Again, I talk about this all the time. We all know, we all have this innate feeling that criminality is wrong, and we all want somebody to step up and be a hero in this scenario, and that's what we're seeing for the Marines. So I love the fact that they're screaming out Semper Fi. I love the fact that they're screaming out salute, because obviously there's a bunch of civilians mixed up in here. Nobody knows exactly what to say, but it's that jubilation in the fact that you stop these people who, again, just make our society worse. And I don't give a damn that these kids are teenagers, they're technically under the age of 18 or anything like that. I would be prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law. I would be putting their photos out there. I would be naming and shaming them, whatever it takes to create a level of disdain for these thieves. We need to start doing it because honestly, it's disgusting. It's ridiculous, it's absurd, and I'm so sick and tired of this pro-criminal, protect the criminal, we need to think about their future when they don't think about anybody else. And for those of you who are like, again, it's not a violent situation, remember that these guys came armed with hammers. Remember, we've done video after video when somebody tries to stop these thieves, and all of a sudden they turn violent, and that could lead to a death. But more importantly, it doesn't matter if these guys were violent. Bernie Madoff never punched anybody in the face as far as I know, but he ruined people's lives. That guy, the FTC or FTX, whatever that crypto thing was, again, doesn't look like he could ever swing his fist at anyone, but he ruined thousands, if not millions of lives with what he did in terms of financial crimes. These people were going after a family-run business. These people were taking food off the shelves of other people. They weren't providing food to the orphans like Aladdin. They are scum. They deserve to be punished. They deserve to be disregarded by our society. They deserve this public humiliation of the Marine Corps taking them down. They deserve everybody in this mall uniting against them. And that's the disdain that we need to show for our thieves. And that's what we need to do in this country nationwide. And we need to take it a step further. We need to go out of our way to repeal all of these stupid laws that say, oh, it's just property. oh, I guess they're in poverty, don't worry about shoplifting, you get 800,000 strikes, steal whatever you want, no big deal. There needs to be consequences. This robbery was clearly premeditated, it was planned out, and I'm sure if you scratch the surface on these teenagers, what you'll find out is that they've done it before, they've likely been caught before, and they've likely been treated with kid gloves before. So no, you get to miss Christmas, you get to spend it in juvenile detention, you get the public humiliation of a perp walk because you are the dredges of our society, and your parents need to face some naming, some shaming, and humiliation as well. But hey, those are just my thoughts, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, then show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on all my social media, support me via the support links in the description box of this video. This has been me talking about yet another case of organized retail theft. Till next time.